I'm not in the games room today, and I'm not using my opening phrase of welcome back to another episode. I wanted to bring myself someplace special for my first thoughts on Breath of the Wild, because Breath of the Wild is an incredible game that I want to talk about today, and I want to change the setting for myself. I wanted to get out of the games room and get really into this, and I don't want to give any spoilers, and I'm not going to show any gameplay. I just want to talk about this game, and I played all the Zeldas since the original Legend of Zelda, and Legend of Zelda, the first one, is my favorite game of all time. I like the open world idea of that game, and I've enjoyed all of the rest of the games. But I've got to say something kind of crazy, something kind of wild. Breath of the Wild is my favorite Zelda game of all time, hands down, easily said. It is a remarkable game. I've spent all week playing it, and I keep getting shocked by it. And it's kind of like, what it kind of means to me is it's like taking the original Legend of Zelda, all that artwork, remember all that cel-shaded artwork, and turning that into a game. A complete open world game. And let me say, it's very much like the original Zeldas, that you do have quests, you do have things to do that will lead you to the next sections of the game. But it's so open world that you can go anywhere and do so much. Even the first opening place that you start in is massive. I spent 5 hours just walking around exploring, and that's what I want to talk about today, is that what I like in video games. I enjoy puzzles and all that, but I like, since I was a kid, I've always liked exploration in video games, and going around a corner and finding a cave and going into that, and discovering a whole other thing. And going places that I shouldn't go, and this game is chock full of that. There's so much mystery in this game. I hate to say it, and I wish, I want to say a bunch of times, it's magical. This game is simply magical to play. And when I first started playing it, I went in, because it's the new Nintendo Switch, it's the new Zelda. I'm very intense on the graphics, so I'm like, oh, these graphics are very jaggy, and I'm like, oh, da 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 da. And then after an hour of the world setting coming in on me, I've been nothing but blown away. I mean, it's the attention to detail is what gets me in this game. The attention to detail. You're running through a forest and there's a little, pond, and in the pond there's a treasure chest, and then there's a little lizard running up a tree, and then you walk out of there and birds fly out of a bush. I mean, and then you're walking up the hill and mist is settling and moving over this, hill. It's with all this ancient relics in the past. It's everything I've ever wanted in a fantasy game, fantasy action game. It's unreal with RPG elements. It's wonderful. And there's so many things I want to talk about that would just spoil the game, and I don't want to do that to you. I've seen quite far into the game as well, as one of my other friends is playing it, and it's remarkable. It never stops being incredible. And Zelda 1 was always my favorite, but Breath of the Wild is my favorite Zelda game of all time, hands down, easy to say. The gameplay is so good. I do have some complaints. I think the menu system is very clunky. I don't like that. There's a bit of pop-up sometimes running around, but it's so easily forgiven with the world setting that they've created. And they've created an amazing Hyrule to explore. And this is going to be another weird thing for me to say, is that this is like beyond Nintendo, what I'm seeing with this game. They've gone beyond what I've ever thought they were possibly able to do. And I'm not going to compare it to any other open world action, RPGs like Skyrim or anything like that, because that'd be, I think that'd be unfair. But Skyrim has a very realistic kind of world setting, and the great thing about Zelda is that it has a very magical, mythical thing about it going on. It's very hard to describe. You have to experience it. And I'm not here trying to sell it to you. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to tell you that my personal experience with the game has been phenomenal. And honestly, I give this game a 10 out of 10. And I don't think I've ever given any game a 10 out of 10 before. Maybe, I'd say Ys back in the day or something like that, or Phantasy Star, the original. This game is the perfect game for me, and it's a 10 out of 10 to me. You can make your own minds up and enjoy the game or not enjoy the game, that's up to you, but for me personally, I've enjoyed every single moment of this game, and I can't wait to get back to it. I want to live in this world. It's one of those types of worlds, and I think when you get there, if you decide to make the journey into this world, you'll be shocked. And it's not easy as well. It's not like a cakewalk. I found Wind Waker a very simple game. This is not a simple game. It's not an easy game. Sometimes I get stumped. I'm like, where am I supposed to go? And then I get killed by a bunch of goblins because I do something stupid, and it's always me. And there's usually about 5 ways to take out any group of monsters or something like that. And I can't even talk about when it's like midnight out and then the moonlight is coming down through the forest and skeletons are coming up through the ground and you're fighting them. It's unreal, and it's everything I've ever wanted in a video game. I am so satisfied with this game. It's really something else. So I hope you guys are enjoying it, and I hope you guys look into it. I think it's a phenomenal game. It's blown me away. It's blown me away. I never thought a video game could be this great, and it is absolutely this great. So anyways, guys, until next time.